Hello, everyone. I am Dominique Amar from Ordinary Doing Extraordinary Ministries, and today I want to do a review of the Chronological Life Application Study Bible. Now, I have the NLT translation here, but you can also get this Bible in the KJV translation if you would prefer. So, what is a chronological Bible? Now, basically, a chronological Bible orders or arranges the Bible text in the order that the events occurred. So it can really make it easy for you to understand what's going on in the narrative. You get a better idea of where certain things occurred, as opposed to if you were reading things in a traditional Bible. Now, I still recommend using a different Bible as your primary because chronological Bibles, with the text laid out in different areas, it may be hard or difficult to locate things, like if you're in church, for instance, and the pastor tells you to turn to a certain book or in chapter and you can't find it. So it's better if you use a traditional Bible as your primary, but this is great if you just want to use it as a study tool, or if you just want to read through it. And that's kind of what I've been doing with this Bible in particular. I've been just reading through it like a novel, and it just makes a lot of sense to me. Another thing I wanted to do was clear up some misconceptions. I did see some reviews about this Bible, and unfortunately, people didn't seem to understand that it is a chronological Bible. So the chapters and verses might be different. They might be located in a different area because it's laid out in a specific order. But every part of the Bible is located in this Bible. There's nothing missing, absolutely no verse missing. You can see here, this is a table of contents here, and you can see it is laid out in the order of a traditional Bible. So you got Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. And this is one way that you can find particular chapters and verses, is by using the table of contents. But every single part of the Bible is actually in this Bible. There's nothing missing whatsoever. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of the features of this Bible. As I just mentioned, you have a table of contents here that's laid out in a traditional order so that you can easily refer to it and try and find exact chapters and verses, and you'll be able to see what pages that they're on. And then you also have a really cool chronological header system. And I'm just going to randomly turn somewhere here. So at the top here, you'll notice this header system, and I can kind of bring it up a little closer here. So the header system helps you to know exactly where you are in God's story. So it highlights historical eras, and it's color coded for better understanding for those who are like visual learners, and you learn better when you have like the use of color and whatnot. These are all color coded a different color. And so here, for instance, we're at birth of Israel. We're in the book of Exodus right now, and we're in the birth of Israel. You see it has the dates there, 1800 through 1406 BC. And it just goes along throughout the entire Bible. So here we are in possessing the land, and as you can see, it highlights it, so you're able to know exactly where you are in the story. Same thing here, united monarchy. Let's go a little further. Right now, here we're in the church, AD 30 through present. So it's a really great way to know exactly where you are. So you also have section introduction. So this is the introduction for the beginning section. And it tells you what books it includes, which it includes Genesis, has the dates and the themes here. And it also has a timeline down here at the bottom, and people and culture. And I mean, it just gives you some really good information. You have maps. And like I said, it mentions the books in this section and the mega themes of this section. And also, this is a pretty cool page. Just thought I'd mention that. And then here's another example of another section, God's chosen family. It has 2 books this time, Genesis and Job. It has some dates here, timeline, and just an wealth of information of what this section is about. Once again, you got maps, some photos, and then it gets started with the actual section. So this Bible is also laid out kind of in an outline fashion. So here you see at the top you have Israel enters the promised land, with a paragraph that explains or summarizes what's going to happen in this section. And then you have 1, so it's kind of a subheading or subsection here where Joshua leads the nation. And then it has a summary here of what happens in this section. And then it goes on to 2. Here you see crossing the Jordan and what that section is about. And then I believe, okay, and then it goes to B, what this section is about, and then subsections here. So I think that that's a good way to help you in your understanding, especially if you're an outline type of person. This is a great feature to have. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about these study notes. So this is a life application study Bible. So the notes are more devotional in nature, and they help the reader know how to apply and put to action the Word of God. So it's more devotional, and it just helps you to apply the text to your life. It does explain what's happening in each section down here. And this is where the study notes are. If you're unfamiliar with using a study Bible, you usually have the Bible text somewhere at the top and then the study notes down at the bottom. And I also found the study notes, not only are they helpful in applying, but they're also a joy to read. They're not heavy and hard to understand. And I've read study Bibles that are more academic in nature, and sometimes it's like, whoo, I still don't know. But these study notes are easy to understand and really, honestly, quite a joy to read. Another cool feature as you are reading this study Bible, you'll notice personality profiles. So here in the study notes section, we have a personality profile on Rahab. You can see who she was, and you see her strengths and accomplishments, her weaknesses, lessons from her life, vital statistics, and the key verse. And it also at the bottom will tell you where Rahab's story is told throughout the Bible. I really like these personality profiles. It helps you to get a better idea of who the character was and how they contributed to the story. So now I'm going to show you guys an example of another feature that's really cool and helps you to understand the passage a bit more, is the parallel here, the parallel feature, parallel passage indicator. So here we're in Matthew 19, 3 through 12, and it's a parallel passage. So it says Jesus teaches about marriage and divorce. So here you see the 2 dots and then another set of dots here. This is the first of the parallel passage. So Matthew 19, 3 through 12, you read that. And then here you get to Mark 10, 2 through 12, which also talks about the same thing. So this also talks about when Jesus taught about marriage and divorce. So it's the same content in this passage, but just different books of the Bible. And that's the cool thing about the Chronological Bible. It puts it in order so you don't get confused. You know exactly, where this occurred, and then it has it as a parallel passage, so it's going to be talking about the same thing here. So Jesus talks about marriage and divorce here, and then Jesus talks about it here as well. So continuing in the chronological theme here, I wanted to show you guys another example of it. Here we're in Genesis 50, so we're at the end of Genesis, the death of Joseph. And then in a traditional Bible, you would expect Exodus to come next. Well, the book of Job comes next here. And that is, some chronological Bibles may lay it out differently. Some may have Job in the middle of Genesis somewhere. But as you can see, it's in a chronological order. It is in the order that the events occurred. So it's very, very helpful in getting a better understanding. So in the back of the Bible here, you have a lot of resources and additional things to kind of help you as you further your journey in reading the Bible. And also it helps you to grow as a Christian. Here we have a Christian worker's resource. So this section has, how to become a Christian, how to follow up with a new believer. It says mining the treasures of the Chronological Life Application Study Bible, and section here to help you speak if you have to do public speaking as well. So it's a very helpful section here on how to bring others to Christ, and how to use it if you have to speak publicly, or whatever that you may have to do as a Christian minister. You have information and help here on what to do and how to go about it, and also some important subjects such as belief, Bible, death, prayer, and so forth. I also like that it has an application section here. It says taking the step to application. So it helps you to not only, read the Bible and study it for yourself, teach it to others, but it helps you to move toward application, which is the most important part of studying, reading the Bible. You can't just read it and not apply it. So this is helping you to do that. The back also has the Bible book by book. So it has a section here in the back for summarizing each book of the Bible. So here we're talking about Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. So it has all of this information here on summarizing each book of the Bible. The back also has an index, NLT dictionary, and concordance. And this index also back here has an index to the illustration. So if there's any illustrations that you remember and you want to try and find them, you can easily go in the back and locate where they are located. And then standard is your maps. Usually at the back of a study Bible, they have plenty of maps for you to look at, and this Bible is no exception. They have plenty of maps for you to really study if you're into that type of thing. So as you can see, the Chronological Life Application Study Bible is full of information to help you really understand the Bible. It's also in one of my favorite translations, the New Living Translation, and also, as I mentioned earlier, it is in the KJV as well. So I just feel like this Bible really gives me a greater understanding of what I am reading, and I'm sure that it would do the same for you as well. It's one of the most organized, well thought out Bibles that I've read in a while. So it's just great. Has a wealth of information, maps, timelines. I didn't get into all the pictures and charts and diagrams that are also in here. So it's very, very, very much worth it to have it in your study library. If you don't have a study Bible, this is a great one to pick up as a first. And it just helps you to not only know what's going on in God's story, but also helps you to apply what's going on in God's story. It helps you to apply it to your life today. I hope this video has been helpful. If so, please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, where I'm going to be doing more videos of like this very soon. So please stay tuned for more videos to help you grow in your study habits with the Bible. Thank you so much for watching.